Okay, you have the light now, Sal. Go ahead.
Okay, now we have a tradition here in GNA for the speakers, but I think this guy already knows that tradition. So Mr. Bottini, we can have you go all the way out.
All right.
There you go. So we can have a grand entrance. That's the reason why we make people, our speaker, go all the way out, so we can give him a grand entrance. So we're going to talk about Mr. Bottini quickly. I'm going to stand up here. So, here we go. Mr. Bottini is a distributor of a company named Vantage, and is also known as a GNA advocate, and you will know why. He has recently started the GNA carpool program that helps shuttle our great members to other GNA locations in Northern California, and he's been bringing me to Fairfield and Modesto. This gentleman has such a big heart and tremendous care for others. If you have not met him yet or want to get to know him on a deeper level, you will not want to miss this event. So today, Jim will discuss how to stabilize and improve your health by using certain rules for preparing and caring for seeds in our garden. Alright, without further ado, let's give a big round of applause for Mr. Jim Bottini.
Yeah, Bottini! Woo!
Thank you. You're probably wondering why I take the shoes off and my socks and so on. That's something you're going to learn. Okay? I'm going to pass out these to everybody. Okay. There are some natural seeds here for you. And also another start. Speak up. And then I want this to go around too. These are pictures from my talk, so you can check those out. And maybe we can put these books on the thing here. Sal, can we get somebody to put the books?
Oh, sure. Sal, come back. That's it.
Come on, let's head over there where Len is. Yeah. And please keep the sheets, keep the seeds. They're yours. After you learn a little bit about this today, hopefully you'll be so enthused you'll try it yourself in your own garden and share with other people. So my topic today is the seed as physician, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I went through personally. So that okay. Can you put those up here? My story actually began when I was 12 years old, and I'm 66 now, so it's advancing in time.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
You look pretty darn good for 66, man.
When I was 12 years old, I saw a vision that the former USSR would eventually go away, and that the US of A would go where the USSR had gone, and that was 12. So I eventually went there and saw it occur. Little did I know at the time that I would learn about my earliest roots and the people that I come from. Just because my last name is Bottini doesn't necessarily mean it's all Italian. I go much further back into the Italian time. I go back into the very early roots of the history of the Eastern Europe and Russia. I would eventually visit the former USSR several times. And from my early teens, I was drawn to the Russian culture, and I couldn't understand why. So it wasn't until I read the Anastasia books, which are right over here, and I bought all 9 volumes of them from the Ringing Cedar series, from the Ringing Cedar Press, that I learned my first few roots go back to the oldest culture on the planet, which is called Ved-Rus, V-E-D-R-U-S-S, of the Siberian region of the present-day CIS, which is the Commonwealth of Independent States, or the former Republic of Russia, USSR. And that's in the northern region, and you can see some of the artwork that's going around. You'll see pictures in there of this little map, and you'll see the area that where my people came from. And as I learned about my culture, I understood that there was a great dependence on gardening and living in smaller communities with dachas. You probably heard the term dachas, D-A-C-H-A, dacha, which kind of means like a country home for the Russian people. And its personal domains are involved in a dacha. So what happens is a family lives in a dacha, they raise their food, they have very close ties to their neighbors and so on. You'll see some of the pictures there. What's interesting is about 70 to 80% of the produce of Russia comes from dacha, from all the dachas that exist. Okay? And the domains were very important in their history. So these were small communities of a series of dachas, probably no more than about 20 or 30 actual home sites with people being very close. And what it helped maintain overall happiness and stability of the community. This went on for literally eons. Today you'll learn about the seed as a physician. Hopefully you'll enjoy the knowledge and apply it to yourself and your family and share with others. That's why I've given you the sheets. So make copies of them if you'd like. Also, I brought the 9 volumes right over there. And your life will change once you begin reading the series. I'm on my 3rd rereading of the series. It started in 2007. I went through a very serious auto accident.
Wow.
I had time on my hands. It took me about 8 months to recover. So I had time to do that. And honestly, I'll be reading these books for the rest of my life. It's, in my opinion, right up there with the Bible. It's so powerful. Okay, so you've got the sheet in front of you. You've got 16 points, 16 bullet points there. And seeds actually have a knowledge to cure all human diseases. The great creator has created those seeds for you. They're just waiting for you to do something with them. Okay? So understand that all human diseases can be cured by seeds. Seeds, the second bullet point there is you want to take your seeds. Take some of those if you want, or take whatever you have. And you want to go ahead and put them in your mouth. And you're probably wondering again, why am I standing here in my bare feet? You'll be finding out about that in a second. I'm going to tell you that your body exudes toxins. Okay? And the process of exuding toxins actually is information for seeds, eventual plants, to help you in your process to get healthy. So if you're walking around your garden, your bare feet and so on, you're sending a message to the dirt, minerals, universe above. And since God gave you a very neutral, the Creator's giving you a very neutral source to help you get better, which is your seed, that information is going to go down to your seeds likewise. And as they grow, they're going to be very mindful of the fact that they're going to be helping you in some given area that you want help with. Okay? Now, the one thing I want to warn you is don't get commercial seeds. You need to know that. That's probably highlighted there, uppercase, bold, and all that kind of stuff. Commercial seeds have rat poison on them, so don't put commercial seeds in your mouth.
Which chemical are you referring to?
For rat poison?
Yeah.
It's just don't.
Coumadin?
Well, no, it's rat poison.
Well, there are different rat poisons.
Oh, I know. But I'm just telling you that that's what the manufacturers do. To avoid that, go online, buy your seeds online, get them from people who will give it to you, like I just given you, or go to reputable stores that carry good seeds, natural seeds. The third thing you want to do is, the next thing you want to do is you want to put the seeds in your hands, okay? Put the seeds in your hands for about 30 seconds. And you also want to wander around barefoot in your garden. It's going to be very, very good for you and the seed. So put it in your hands, palm your hands for about 30 seconds. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to blow on your seed. You want to just blow on your seeds, okay? By you blowing, it's going to add additional information from your body. Okay, it's coming from internally from your body to those seeds. Those seeds are going to pick up all the information about you. So blow on the seeds in your palm of your hands for about 30 seconds. You also want to open up your palm of your hands with your seeds, wherever you get them from, and you're working with them. You want to open up to the Creator, because you want to get the power that's off this planet, from the planet, but also to the power of the universe. Because all seeds will accept the knowledge that is available to them from the planets, the universe, the stars, and also too from what's available here. But you want to offer it to the Creator. Because again, the Creator is giving you this for a reason. It's to help you get healthy. Now, when you're ready to plant the seeds in the ground, you want to use no tools. You want to use your hands. So if you've got always constantly having dirty fingernails, you're doing the right thing. You also want to use your toes too. Okay? Toes are very important. Because again, you're still exuding toxins out of your feet and your toes. You want to have loose dirt. Loose dirt is incredibly important. We've all seen plants that fight in pots because they get root bound. So you want to have loose dirt. It makes it much easier for the plant and the seeds to expand, the roots to expand. Also, once you've planted your seeds, since you had your seed in your mouth for 9 minutes, the saliva that was put on the seeds, you don't want to wash that away. So you want to wait 3 days. Wait 3 days before you actually water it, okay? Because the saliva that's on the seed, that is probably one of your most important applications of your body's contact with the seed. Because it has your bioidentity is put right on that seed from your saliva. Because we all know that you get DNA samples from saliva, right? There's even a company, GNA, and a couple others that are making great products for people in the marketplace based on your DNA from saliva. So your saliva is important. Leave it encasing the seed for at least 3 days. After that, you can dump it in water. Now, there's another way that you want to be concerned about, because every plant is different on Earth. No two plants are the same. So you want to find out from a lunar calendar. You can go to ask.com, or you can go to Google. Find out for your particular species when you should be planting the seeds. Okay? There are certain times you don't, so you want to refer to a lunar calendar online and do obey them. The worst thing you can do is plant too late. The second worst thing is plant too early. So you kind of want to be right in the right zone, right time-wise. Now, the next thing you'll probably see there is this: don't cut out your weeds, or don't get rid of the weeds. Keep the weeds there. You can cut them back, but keep the weeds there. The weeds actually act as providing additional information to the seeds of the plants that will occur. That same set of information will protect the seeds of the plants, because they're attacked because they're very, very young in the cycle of growing. They're attacked by many diseases. I mean, everything's competing in the garden to take them out of the game. So leave the weeds that are there. You can cut it back a little bit. Never take all the weeds out. Now, the next point that I'm covering is that seeds have a knowledge that is gained from plants, stars, and the universe, and also from the resources of the earth. So that's the value of what you're gaining. You're gaining all this additional assistance. First of all, God, the Creator, has created this great little seed package for you, this little tool that's going to make you healthy. But God's also supplied additional information from all the other creations that are there to help that little seed become a successful plant and make for you a very, very, very good experience. You do want to plant, and you also want to go by at least once during the full moon cycle. We all have full moon cycles on our calendar year, okay? 28 days, full moon cycle, several times, and several nights for a full moon cycle. You want to go out there and you want to touch your plant. Because your plant is actually not, this is very definitely for you. That one plant is very definitely for you. So you want to thank the plant for it. It's a long process for a plant. I mean, we get to go inside and sleep, relax. That plant is out there in the elements, 24 hours a day for you. It's working very hard. What are some of the diseases or some of the challenges that your body has if your plants, because now their plants are no longer seed, would be able to do for you? They reduce aging. They reduce harmful habits, harmful human habits. They increase mental attitudes. They give you an inner sense of peace. And you should wait no more than 3 days after harvesting your plants to consume your plants. Don't let them be in the refrigerator for 2 weeks or so. Too long of time. But optimum time is 3 days. After you cut something, eat it right away. We all know when we've had fresh lettuce and so on, especially if it's come from your own home, it's just phenomenal. Now, when you plant, you don't have to have 20 cucumbers, 20 tomatoes, this or that. You just have to have a few species, because the health of your plants will be very, very strong. So consequently, you'll get a lot of fruit or vegetables from each of your plants. So don't plant a lot, just plant a few species. You want to sort and plant and use your hands and toes, like I mentioned, because of the toxin situation. Don't use tools. I might also mention, if for some reason you didn't adequately put saliva on your seeds, you can spit it into the hole that you've created with your hands, okay? You can spit in the hole, because that still will provide that bioidentity with that particular seed for you, right? And again, if people ask you why you're wandering around on your feet in your garden, it's because you're trying to get the toxins to communicate with the soil and nearby the seeds of the plant. Now, the plants will stop diseases when they're eaten, so don't go to all this trouble and not eat your plants or not eat the fruits or vegetables. I mean, there's a reason you're doing all this. It's there. It's nature's way of assisting you. When I made up this next card, it struck me how many actual stores, the nurseries and so on, places where you go to get your supplies, actually have these plants already for you right now. So I think there's a higher purpose creating things going on right now in our consciousness. I'm going to give you a list of some of the plants you may want to consider for your gardens. Raspberries, currants, gooseberries, cucumbers, tomatoes, strawberries, wild strawberries, apple trees, sour and sweet cherries, sunflowers, about a 1/2 square meter of cereal grains, which would either be rye or wheat or both, or about 2 square meters of wild grown herb for the forest. And that's kind of hard to get, okay? So you may have to do a fallback and go to a store, a nursery that carries herbs. In this first book, which is the series over there, #1 on the Anastasia series and so on, there's about 6 pages in there about bees. And you'll find out about bees and the hive culture in there, which are really, really important. That's why the existence and the continued existence of bees is very necessary in our planet. I won't go into it because that can take another whole hour discussion on itself, but you can find out more information. At some point, I'm going to invite my own personal apiarist, which is a bee caring person, who's not too far from my home, to come and speak to us. Bees are really, really important. So I'm going to talk to Elias about that.
Okay.
So I want you to show your love to your plants each day. That means bending down and touching them and actually telling them I love you. I do that quite a lot. I spend a lot of time with my plants. They work very hard for me, and I appreciate what they do. So it's something that we are co-creators with the creator himself. We're creating what we have in front of us. This was his genius to create all this for us. So we want to be thankful about it. We also want to be thankful for the vehicle that makes it there and these other plants. That is pretty much it. If you have some questions, I know it's kind of fast, but if you have some questions, I didn't tell Elias in about 25 minutes. Please, do you have any questions?
So you use do you have organic vegetables at home?
I do. I actually tend 5 gardens, so all over California, and they're all different. And to me, it's a very spiritual experience. I would love to spend more time in my garden than other places. I will tell you, if I could sleep on the ground, I would. I've traveled all over the world to journalists, okay? And for me to sleep into a bed is not sufficiently comfortable enough. I need to sleep in a bed. That's why I spend so much time. I spend so much time near the ground. I plant things in the ground. I harvest stuff in the ground to eat. And the ground is, to me, like my bed.
Wow.
When you say what plants you should plant, why these in particular?
It could be, that's just a quick suggestion.
Okay.
Quick suggestion. You can plant any ones you want. Trust me, my vegetable garden is reasonably good in size, but I have far more flowers. I love irises and roses and camellias and everything else, and so I spend a lot of time doing that. So I go back and look at vegetable garden. What's wrong with it? Say back to me, well, hey, plant more of us, and we'll give you more of what you want.
Now,
So,
when you're talking about being barefooted on the ground and the toxins, what do you mean by that? Is it toxic from your body, leaving your body
toxins,
through
yeah.
your feet
Have you
going
ever
to the
had
ground?
athlete's feet and so on?
Yeah.
Okay, that's toxins trying to get out. Have you ever had stuff in your back and you have an itch in your back and you have to get the back scratcher? That's toxins trying to get out. Your body is trying to help you. Your body is one of the most creative, and next to your mind, it's one of the most amazing things ever created for you. And your body's trying to correct the problems of when we do abuse with the candy bar and bad this and bad that. So your body's trying to get rid of all those toxins. You sweat it out, it tries to come out of your backside or wherever. So the nice thing about that is you're sending that information right now to the ground. It goes beneath the ground, it goes into the seeds, it goes to the plants. They get the message. And so when you come to harvest what you want, that is going to have the health that you want for you, specific
So
remedy for you.
all that energy that you're transplanting to the seed, to the ground, goes into the plant, and the plant grows, and then you eat the plant, and then that is the message that the plant has in your body to heal those things.
You got it, Liz. You got it. You got
I'm
it.
so smart.
I'll tell you a little bit about the culture. The Vendras people actually spoke of they were around 25 to 50,000 years ago. They were the precursors of Atlantis and Lemuria. And there were no wars. And people lived they were very close together. You know, it's not idyllic. This actually is what happened. And, you know, unfortunately for us as a species, we've gotten very far away from that. Okay? So we don't have the close conversations about it. We pray. I hope we all continue to do that. There were no wars. The towns were small. They were all very supportive. The marriage ceremonies lasted for 1 week, where people would come from, the 20 or 30 domains. They would bring their special plants and trees and so on, and they'd place them in the gardens right there, and they would party for a week. I mean, extensive parties. They did have some fruit wines, okay, meat and a few other things. But what would wind up happening is there was just a further increasing of the bond in that community. They could.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to.
No, keep going.
Okay. They could breed minds.
Who could read minds?
The bedrust people, they could read your mind. They could speak all languages of the planet. They didn't need a plane, a boat, a train, or car to go anyplace. They actually could teleport. Like Star Trek, they actually could teleport. They could teleport their mind there. If they wanted to leave their body here and teleport their mind there, they could. Remember, God was in close contact with these people. God was in close contact on a speaking basis from day to day. So we lost a lot in the process. But the good news is that these books came out in 1994, 1995. 10 million of them have been out there. And what you have in your hands right now is extremely valuable information. 20 different languages these books have been translated to. You saw in some of the pictures that were going around, you saw in Minneapolis, there are communities. There are what they call the Dacha intentional communities that are doing just what I'm telling you about, not just in Russia, but Japan, South Asia, Europe, Russia, Africa, all over the world. And you can do it even on your landing, in your apartment, or your backyard, or wherever you have some ground. This is, you've got the information now, so I hope that has some value.
Can you move this side a little bit? I want to get a shot of that bag of chicken manure for
Yeah,
our viewers out there.
I brought that. You need some additional assist, because sometimes our soil is so depleted. So you might need this. And
What is the benefit of chicken manure to just plain old manure?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
More nutritional and
Yeah.
have more
Yes.
value
Yeah.
than the cow manure.
Right. I only brought some assist, speaking if your garden needs it. Okay? Now, I also brought something over here that you guys might find a little reprehensible. To me, I consider this the most valuable thing I could bring and show you, is my compostables. This is all material I recycle from the house. And you can see brines in there, you can see eggs and,
Do you have worms in there?
yes, yeah. In fact, I do vermiculture. I do quite a lot of it. I have some vermiculture, which what Liz is talking about is having worms, earthworms work for you, and they do a very extensive job. Earthworms actually will eat all the toxins in the soil. And so once that happens, they'll clean up your soil for you. And they also, the byproduct of earthworms, their dedication, that it can either be a powder or a liquid, and it provides such excellent manure, better than this. So it's a little expensive. So, any other questions?
What does that bag of manure cost right there?
I think $3.
$3-4 for chicken manure?
Yeah. Steer is cheaper. Yeah. But the reason I bring this is you may have to add more nutrients to your soil, because a lot of our soil here is really, really bad. My one specific garden, to the recreation garden at my John's where I live, it's where they took all the trash, all the building supplies and construction stuff, they dumped it in one area, and the dozers came by and put some topsoil on top of that. So there's a lime pit there, so I'm trying to grow life on top of a lime pit. But it can be done. Blue Shark Gardens up in Vancouver, 32 acres, Blue Shark Gardens, was a lime pit. It's one of the most beautiful places on this planet right now.
One more question. Good.
Where can you
Two more.
your soil? Because your everyday soil is not soil. And then the soil that you get in Walmart or those kind of stores, that doesn't seem to be real soil either. So what would you suggest?
I would suggest starting, putting the stuff recycled from your kitchen in the soil. I mean, at the base of all my holes, you'll find all this in there. And my plants are very happy because of that. They're extremely happy. Because eventually the roots will go down into that. That stuff, it creates methane, it creates a gas, it disintegrates. And then it creates an enrichment for the roots to go down and find that. But if you need to, put some of this in your soil too. And just keep tending it. And again, break it up. A lot of our soils are very hard, loamy soils. They're very hard-tack soils. So you want to be kind of a loam. Bring some sand to it if you can. Because sand is always very, very good for soil. Anybody else?
Yeah, I may have missed something earlier because I was going back through reading as I was listening to stuff. But what types of seeds are these? I mean, one of them they look like apple seeds. But
They're apple seeds. My favorites are apples, oranges, and lemons. So you've got a lot of apples, oranges, and lemons, and they all come from my kitchen. So I'm pouring out seeds all the time. I guess I'm kind of like the Johnny Appleseed kind of guy.
So we can plant these and
those.
all
trees?
together, or
When you want to do the procedure from 1 to 16, like I told you, plant 2 or 3 seeds at a time, okay? And set them inside there. Try to remember what they are, but my problem is I get so many that you might get You might get an orange, you might get a lemon, you might get an apple, but you got a tree, okay? You got something for you, okay? And you don't have to use the 16 points, the bullet points. You just got some life in front of you right there. You got potential life in front of you. Nothing more exciting for me when I see new trees or something new that's growing. That really makes me very, very happy.
Cool. Great. Thank you, Jim. Awesome. Give Jim a big